guys, so I just wanted to make a quick video about my experience with doing 30 days of yoga with Adriene. And there's different ones that you could do. She's created some more recently, I think like a few months ago, since the whole quarantine thing. And so the one I did was actually 5 years ago. And there were a few days I did like day first through the 7th day straight, and then I think I probably missed like the 8th day, and then after that I did like 5 or 6 more days, missed a day, and then I did maybe 5 or 6 more days. I missed like maybe 3 days at that point, and then I think I just did the rest through until 30, maybe missing another day somewhere in between. So I tried to stick with it as much as possible to do them straight. So just so you know, my experience is based on, skipping a few days here and there. And I do think it made a difference in my body as far as like maybe my balance a little bit, some of my back pain, but it's also very hard to tell because my back pain is very, very severe all the time. And I've done physical therapy, and I have a foam roller that I use, and of course I've been trying to do yoga for at least like 6 months now, but it's been like an on and off thing. I was in a yoga class before the whole quarantine thing happened, so then we went to online, and when that happened, I was also in a biology class that required a lot of work from me. So the yoga class that was online, it wasn't an actual time set aside for us to do the yoga, like as if for the class. You show up for the class and you're there for an hour and a half or something, and you have to show up and you have to do the yoga. You have to participate in the class. But whenever it came to online, they actually just had us submit 2 pictures of like 2 different yoga poses every week. And it's my own fault, of course, but as far as like the accountability went with that meant that I was doing yoga once a week probably, and just taking 2 pictures, or maybe doing it once and then the second time doing like 5 minutes to get the picture, 5 or 10 minutes. It started off with me doing maybe like 20 minutes through, because it's intense, which it was in the class too, but in the class I wouldn't stop doing it. At home I would, because no one's watching, and I also had other homework assignments to do for my other class and tests to study for, and it was just easier when I didn't have someone there holding me accountable. And I felt that the yoga with Adriene was actually a lot easier than the actual class that I took at my college, because the class that I took at my college, like I said, it was pretty intense. It was hard. Not that I'm saying there aren't like intense times when I do the yoga with Adriene on YouTube. It still is, and it's still a workout. You still feel like you get worked, but like I said, we're doing like the actual yoga was probably an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. There's probably 15 to 20 minutes each class where she like talks about stuff, and at the end where we did the Shavasana. So with Adriene, I would say it's 20 to 30 minutes basically on the 30 days of yoga. With Adriene, that was 5 years ago, like I said, it's 20 to 30 minutes, which for me is really reasonable, and it's really easy to fit in. So it was like really easy for me to stick with it. But whether or not, obviously, I'm getting the same benefits as if I were to be doing yoga for like an hour or more every day for 30 days, of course. But for a beginner, I think it's probably great, because as a beginner, I had already been practicing yoga with YouTube before I started taking the class in my college. But when I did start taking the class in my college, it was like, for me and other people there that were like damn near beginners, they may have, dibbled and dabbled with a little bit of YouTube too, but, we're all essentially beginners, it was rough, it's like where people are turning and looking at each other and gasping and muttering under their breath, like, oh my God, like, oh, I can't do this is crazy, because it is like, and the instructor could do everything just like nothing. She's been doing yoga for 15 years, and she's physically like more than capable of doing it. Like, she's in tip top shape. So yeah, I would say, with Adriene, the yoga with Adriene that I did, it was a lot more beginner friendly, I guess, and less exhausting, which I think is good because, again, like I said, it's easier to stick with it. Someone who was put to the test of doing the yoga at the college, like I said, it was that intense for some people that, well, first off, people straight up did stop coming. But, secondly, I have no doubts that if we didn't switch over to quarantine and like the online platform with it, there were more people that were going to drop off because it was hard. It was actually really hard and really intense, and some people, like, they thought, they were ready to sign up for it, like, oh yeah, it sounds fun, like, let's do it, and whatever. But once you get put to the test, you're like, oh, I can't breathe, this is hard, like, hell no. I'll do that. I'll pick another time in my life to do this, because, obviously there's a voice in my head that kind of said that too, but I stuck with it anyways, because I know that as far as my back pain and stuff goes, I think that yoga is really going to offer me a lot of benefits. So that's why I won't give up on it. I really want to wait and see the payoff with my body. As far as the benefits goes, like I said, for doing the yoga with Adriene for 30 days, I do feel a difference. I think there's a difference. I also think there could be like physical parts of my body that look a little bit different, a little bit more defined or lifted or what have you, but it's few and far between, and that's my own fault too, because since the quarantine, I haven't been to the gym, so I've barely worked out. I've gone on a couple walks, and by a couple, I really mean like 2. So, I stopped like doing any of the stuff at the gym with the weights or anything, altogether. So, and I haven't been eating that great either. So, if it wasn't for all those things, if I had my same like healthier eating habits like I had before when I was originally taking the yoga before quarantine, so we're talking like February, March, and I was still going to the gym at least 2 to 3 times a week like I was before, then I think that I probably could see a pretty significant difference by sticking with that yoga, and eating more clean and also working out like I normally would. But it's just because I'm doing so many things to counteract the benefits. I think that's why I'm not seeing as many. But like I said, I'm still seeing some regardless. And we're talking 23 minutes of yoga a day, skipping some days, only for 30 days. So if you see anything out of that, I think it's worth it, to be honest. And like I said, some of my pain I think has improved as well. So it's definitely worth it. Out of the 30 days of yoga with Adriene, the one that I think was the most intense, and I remember it well enough, that's how intense it was, and it was like a killer abs day or something, and luckily that was the only day she did like that. But that was torture, and I think that was a short day. That was like a 15-minute yoga day or something. And I remember reading the description, killer abs, 15 minutes. Okay, right. And then when I got done, I was like, oh god, I never want to do that again. That was rough. And then also, just to say, maybe because I'm Southern, I don't know, but Adriene, oh man, she's fun. She's a great instructor. Like, not to say anything about the benefits of her class or whatever, but having her as an instructor, it's super fun. Like, she's fun. She's like super quirky, like, like silly, kind of like corny with some of the stuff she says. But that's my type of humor. That's what I think's funny. Like, that is the stuff that, will cross my mind randomly throughout the day, and I'm laughing for no reason and people think I'm a weirdo. That's the kind of stuff. It's like corny humor, and also sometimes she talks like Sandy from SpongeBob, which I love because, sometimes I do it too, to be honest, and I just think it's funny. Maybe, because I do it for my son and he thinks it's really funny, so maybe that's why I originally started doing it, but sometimes I just do it for no reason, like at work or something. And I just think it's funny. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. And she's just fun, you know. She has good energy and stuff. So, like, if I had to choose, you know, doing a real life yoga instruction with an instructor, you know, if I had to choose my teacher from college, who was very, very good, over Adriene, it would be a really tough call, you know, because I think I would really, really like doing a live yoga class with her. She's fun. She has such great energy. And then she has a dog, you know, the dog Benji. What a cool dog, you know. My dog would chill there too when I do yoga, but it doesn't come as naturally to him, I think, as it does for her dog. So that's also another cool thing to throw out there. So if you guys haven't tried yoga with Adriene, try it out. You know, if you haven't tried the 30 days, give it a chance. Like I said, it's probably really easy to fit in 20 to 30 minutes a day just for 30 days. I mean, you really have nothing to lose. So definitely give it a shot. I liked it. I'm sticking with it. She also has some really good yoga videos, just endless yoga videos. But I've also found some really good ones with her where it's like back and shoulder pain, which is something I have a problem with, and then upper back pain, lower back pain. She has all kinds of back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, this and that, you know. So you could find so much stuff that'll probably benefit you. I think I probably do get the most benefits out of her yoga videos that are actually geared toward, you know, back pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain, because that's what I have the worst pain. So when I do those videos, I think my pain has lessened more than any other time. And I know it sounds silly, you know, if you're doing 15, 20, 30 minutes of yoga, you don't think it would really make a difference, but it really does, especially if you do it early in the day and then you go throughout the rest of your day, especially if you're going to work and stuff. You'll notice, like, damn, you know, my back's not hurting as much as it normally is at this point, like throughout your day, you know. And that's a nice feeling for me, because I'll take what I can get, you know, to alleviate my pain, because it's so severe. And I mean, I basically accept it. I just deal with it at this point. But you know, to have it, you know, alleviated, that would be great. I really would appreciate that. So I'll take what I can get. So anyways, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to, you know, leave some comments. I don't really think a lot of people are even gonna watch this, because it's not like typical videos that I make. But it's something that I did, and I watched a video review of someone talking about doing 30 days of yoga with Adriene before I actually tried it. And some of the things she said, I was like, oh, okay, you know, I want to see if that's true for me too, because I think it's different for everyone. But I would definitely recommend it if you guys are interested, especially if you're beginners. It's perfect for beginners. You know, there's no intimidation there, and you have nothing to lose, like I said.